So good morning guys, welcome back to Thailand. It's been a long time since I came to Thailand and made a video. I did hear that they'd netted the lake and sold some of the fish off, and this morning when I was getting the ticket, talking to the guys in the office there, they confirmed that to be true. They said there's very few Mekong in this lake now, but they did leave a lot of the Siamese carp. And at the same time they lowered the rod ticket from, I think it was 300 baht before then, and now it's down to 100 baht. They've got a little bit of a competition going. If you get a predator fish like an arapaima, a pacu, a jalpraya, you can win 500 or 300 baht depending on the fish. So I paid for 3 rods, 300 baht. I'm going to have 2 on bread mix ram. I'm going to have 1 on a predator bait and try and take out one of those arapaima or a jalpraya. Maybe I can win myself lunch. So I'll share with you the rig I'm going to be using for the predators, hopefully. I've got a very small lead weight as a little bit of a back lead just to hold the last little bit of line down. Then I've got a lead weight of about 2 ounces to a swivel, coming up to about a size 14 hook, 2 chicken hearts, a chunk of pork fat, and as the stopper for the hair rig I'm using a little bit of zig rig foam. Just the pork fat and the chicken hearts is enough to make it float, but adding the zig rig as the stopper holds it all together quite nicely and really make sure it pops up. So that's going to be popped up off the bottom, just 3 or 4 inches like that. So I've got the lake to myself. I might as well use the next peg down for the predator rod. I forgot about the wooden bank here, so I've had to set my bank sticks up a little bit further back and quite high to try and stop the line touching the side of the wooden edge. If a fish runs, the line won't be rubbing on the edge. But that rod can stay here. I'm fishing just out there with the chicken hearts and some pork fat, and I'll set up the other 2 rods and fish in the swim down there with the bread and ram. Keep the 2 a little bit separate. For bait on the other 2 rods, it's just going to be a simple mix of the bread and ram that they sell here. If you do want to fish for the predators, they don't sell any meat baits here. You got to come down with your own. I stopped off at Macro yesterday, got some chicken hearts and some pork fat, but for the bread and ram they sell it here and they want you to buy it here, so that's fair enough. I brought 3 bags of bread, 3 bags of ram, mix that all together, and that'll be the bait on the other 2 rods. If I do get a fish, it looks like I'm going to have to unhook it on the grass, because my girlfriend has confiscated the unhooking mat, telling me that she's more important. First fish of the day, a nice little Java barb. He actually gave a good account for himself as well. I thought it was a rohu at one point. He was going off real fast. So yeah, there are still fish in here. 100 baht a day, can't be too bad. So that's a bit unfortunate. I've managed to foul hook a baby striped catfish, a baby sway by the looks of things, and it's ripped his guts out, so it's definitely not going to survive. I may as well unhook him and use him as dead bait. Well, it came back in with some bait left on it, so getting it out past the little sway might be the way forwards to avoid them stripping the hook off. And I've got a walking catfish. Mai, could you take a bit of film?
อ้าปากเร็ว
Getting it out past those annoying little sway that have been stripping my feeder off seems to have done the job. I got a fish, and when I brought the feeder in, it still had half the bait on it, but it's not the fish I wanted. This is a walking catfish or a blad duck. Still, I've never had one from here before, and I haven't had one for a while, so really good eating, but I'm going to put him back. Bye. Thank you. During the day, I did catch a few more fish. I caught a few more of those small striped catfish, those blasts away. All of them were about the same length, about 3 or 4 inches long. To be honest with you, they were proven to be a pain. Everywhere I cast, they would just hammer the feeder, and occasionally a few of them would get foul hooked or hooked in the mouth. It's a shame to see that they've sold all the fish off and the lake is pretty much neglected now. But anyway, it's their decision. They've decided to focus mainly on the Tilapia Lake, the Snakehead Lake and the Barramundi Lake. They've netted the main lake and sold the vast majority of the fish. There are still a few fish in here of a decent size. If you check out their Facebook, you can see some of the guys are taking out the odd Siamese carp, the odd Mekong. I'll put a link in the video description to their Facebook page if you want to go along and check that out. It's a very quick video. I almost decided not to make the video, but if somebody's going to come over to Thailand and they're considering fishing at Tainana based on the videos I've done in the past, I wanted to do an update video to let you know how the lake is fishing now and what's happened since the last video. Thanks for watching. See you soon.